Chuki Beats.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of my series Trying Not to Crash. So this episode has more than just one boring crit, and it features precisely 0 crashes, which is a lot better than last time. So the 3 races you're going to be seeing are the Santa Barbara Road Race, 5A and 5B, and the 4th Early Bird Crit, which is what you saw in the last one. It's a series that's going on through January. So for context, the video starts on the climb of the course. That's what you're watching right now. For Cat 5, it's 2 14-mile loops, and the climb is about 4 minutes long if you're really going for it. It's about a third of the way through the loop, 5 or so miles in. And yeah, so the first 5 miles of this race were pretty much a warm-up. I got there a little late, and I never had time to warm up just because I got there late, and so it was really convenient to me that the start of the race was a little slow. But then once we got to the climb, we really were pushing hard. My buddy Rod, I knew would be the guy to go for it on the climbs, and I knew that and made the silly mistake of being at the back of the pack at the start of the climb. So I really had to wait for everyone to get strung out, and then I was able to slowly weave through people, and then once it opened up, I just had to go all in just to make it to the front group. I eventually did make it to the front group, but I spent way more time in the red than I needed to and that I should have this early into the race. Yeah, you can see them way up the road right now, and they are, well, farther away than I would have liked them to be. So what ended up happening is once we get to the top, it was a group of maybe 6 of us, and then we worked together for a little bit, and then maybe half the group caught back up. I think we started with about 40 people, and then maybe once everyone regrouped, it was about 20. So after everyone sort of regrouped, it was maybe 5 or 6 miles of rolling, nothing too crazy, and then a right turn back on the main road, which is where the start finishes. I made the silly mistake of taking this turn way too slow, and then had to smash just to catch back up. Not the smartest move I made in the race. Anyways, this turn you're about to see now is where lap 2 starts. At the end of the second lap, instead of turning right, we continue straight, and the finish is about a mile or so away. And that's a little bit earlier than last year, maybe a quarter mile sooner than last year, where the previous finish was. And that ended after a bridge that someone nearly fell from. But you probably don't need me telling you that, since I'm pretty sure everyone's seen that video by now. Fast forward a few easy miles, and now we're on to the climb of the second lap. I tried to stay on Rod's wheel the last mile or so, but somehow lost it a little before the start, and that was a bummer since I knew he was going to go all in the second time around. Rod's the guy in the green Fig Mountain jersey with the red and blue helmet. Yeah, so from the bottom of the climb, it was super hard. As you can see, I'm sort of trying to move up, but I end up getting a little bit boxed in on the right, and I'm just watching Rod drift away, and it made me so sad. So I was gradually able to inch my way over to the left, and then by then there was already a huge gap. You can see my power really spike here. I know if I don't make this group, then I'm totally donezo, so I'm going all in. My heart rate ends up hovering around 190 for a lot more than I wanted it to, and I'm really feeling it. I was eventually able to get up to those guys' wheels, so you see off in the distance, and I was super happy that I was able to make this group. But right as I am able to catch up to the back of this group, they ended up slowing down, and then Rod and the 2 other guys that he was up in the front with, they ended up getting away. So I ended up with a really small group that formed over the course of the next few miles to about 15-ish. So the 3 of them were up the road. That's the podium gone. So the rest of us just sort of ended up racing for the rest of the top 10. With those guys up the road, we were not able to catch them. Obviously, we didn't work well together at all. But then we were able to move back in and get really rolling the last couple miles. And then here is the final sprint. Fortunately, I was able to take the group sprint and get 4th, which is a really cool feeling. It was just unfortunate there were that there were a few guys up the road and I wasn't able to make the podium. But again, it was my first real like mass group sprint in a race, and it was a ton of fun to be a part of, and I'm really glad I was able to win. I ended up going way early, and you can probably see that I did that, and I sort of just had to keep going. I don't know if you noticed, but I had to like sit back down in the saddle and then get out of the saddle again just so I could make sure that no one was going to come around me. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad I was able to snag fourth. What's going on right now?
Rod locked my keys in the gas cap, and now Smitty's coming to save the day.
Smitty.
So we finished the first race a couple hours ago, and now we're gonna go get some Chipotle. So Rod, let's
After we got free pizza.
Yeah, we did get a slice of free pizza. That was pretty dope. So yeah, we're gonna start the car.
Chuki Beats.
So what are we doing, Rod?
Well, that is the battery,
Mm-hmm.
and that needs to get recharged.
Where'd we get these cables?
From a nice man in an RV. He let us in. He let us check it out.
So give me a 10-second summary of your race.
Made a move, first climb, everybody covered it. Made a move, second climb, broke away with two other guys, hammered the rest of the way with them, got out sprinted.
So after a quick lunch in Santa Maria, Rod and I went to Chipotle. We made our way back for the second race, and then who you're about to see creep up on the right is one of Rod's teammates, Carl, who wasn't in our first race because he was doing a different one, but he's in this one, and he's super, super strong. He plays a big role in me hurting for the next hour or so. He and Rod went on the first climb, and then I wasn't able to cover it, but then Gordon and I, and by Gordon and I mean Gordon, pulled all the way back up to the group. I made about 30 seconds of pulling where he did probably like close to 10 minutes. It was really impressive. So we pulled back up to the group, and then they ended up catching us pretty soon after. The four of us worked together for a few miles, but then the rest of the group caught us. I think there was maybe 15 or so afterwards. Yeah, so the group came together, then we went on to the second lap where Rod went solo for the rest of the lap, and about a mile to go, Gordon caught him, and then Gordon and Rod were just able to somehow get away from the group ever so slightly, and then the rest of us went in for the final sprint. So as you can see, I was not able to win this sprint, which meant I got fourth again and was not able to make the podium. So immediately after this race, I was straight back into the car. It was about a 3.5-hour drive, and I needed to do that tonight so I could get to the race in Fremont the next morning, which is what you're about to see.
Yeah, so nothing really happened in this race. I had super tired legs, and we just sort of went fast the whole time, no real moves or anything, and then my GoPro ended up dying pretty soon anyways, just because I forgot to charge the battery from the day before, and then nothing really happened at the end in the finish, so I was just basically there just to get my points. So I have all my points now to upgrade to Cat 4. I applied for my upgrade, and hopefully my first Cat 4 race will be this weekend in Livermore. And yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in episode 3.